All right, we have the full party, the full Monty party. So
Not on
let's go ahead and
Twitch.
get started. Um, First, let's recap last week. Um,
I don't really
Last
remember
week,
last week.
you guys finished going through the Goblin Cave and uh, blew up a good portion of it, for that matter. Um,
Jack, what's up, dude?
Made your way back to Neverwinter because you had heard that the Guardian of Thundertree may know more about the Black Spider or where to find him. You're just not certain who the Guardian of Thundertree is or even what Thundertree is. So you're headed back to town to determine. Once you had done that, you decided to split up. Strife and Prior and Gargantius went to the Temple of Tamora, and there sought out the Council of the Monks. Gargantius got a bit sidetracked. He went looking for the woman who gave him the amulet that he wears. It was just a mysterious woman in priestly robes who had given it to him. To not find her at all, and in fact come across looking like a lunatic. Thank you for the host, Nima. So while they were doing that, Palna and Alafa went to go find somebody who they thought might be able to assist from the. Well, I'm trying to remember exactly what it was that you were looking for somebody with street knowledge. Was that it?
See you in 10 minutes, Jack.
We're looking for Freddy Got. I mean, not Freddy Got Finger, just
Yeah,
fingers.
five-fingered
McGee.
Freddy.
You were looking for. Yeah, you were looking for Fingers McGee, but I'm trying to. Yeah, you were looking for a thieves guild. and I'm trying to
I was
remember
looking
why.
for. I figured the Thieves Guild would be knowledgeable.
Just for information.
Yeah, would understand like who's in the area. Have some
Okay,
insight.
that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I didn't want to come across like an idiot though and get it totally wrong. So, yes, you sought them out. Found out that the local leader is called Fingers McGee, and that he frequently hangs out at the docks. Made your way down there. There was a shop owner whose shop you had previously visited. Apparently, my chat thinks that the shop owner was hot because I just got a giggity. So
I mean, if
there's
you're into,
that. I mean, he's
what?
That was Nima though.
Gilfs, but instead of
He's
grandmas,
a-
they're grandpas.
grandpa's. That was and it was Nima. That was actually Nima who did that. Apparently, Nima thought the old man was hot.
Ninja,
It
what's
makes
going on,
sense.
dude?
It does.
No, I was
makes
delaying
sense.
So we
for
established
Fingers
that.
McGee.
That was
Uh-huh.
a super late giggity.
On his fingers. Showing him here.
Well, I'm accounting for some delay anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Sure.
So that's what you're into, Nima? Is a little bit of long finger action going on there? Yeah.
You got some
Dark
information. Puffs. I'm fingering the darkness. You got some information. I got some information.
Welcome to Mature Monday.
Welcome to Mature
vacation.
Monday.
Hold on, guys.
um.
Okay, so I had to mute them just so I could talk. Ninja, sorry. Yeah, with D&D usually there's a lot of talking from various people, so I don't get to interact with chat verbally as much. But essentially, it's fairly complex, but it balances around role playing. So we're all role playing out our characters, and we're all sort of bound by some common rules. Now, this is Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Everything's determined with dice rolls, chance, a rule book that we work with, etc. Lava King, good to see you, by the way.
The Paul and the Smackdown.
Yeah, someone seems to be spamming pretty
Sorry,
hard.
what happened? Oh
The
yeah,
Megnaforce. You bring in the Megnaforce.
yeah.
You bring in the
left.
pain.
He left.
Who are we shaming?
Good. Good.
just some guy. It's all good.
All right.
Or girl.
So-
We don't judge.
As we were saying. Yeah, equal opportunity. Girls can be evil too. That's fine.
Can be or always are.
I said equal opportunity.
Choose to
Mrs.
be.
Megna's an angel.
Also, men can be bitches. Isn't that right?
Covering for yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Went to the old man, woke him up in the middle of the night, and he actually did give you some information saying that he thought that some of the lieutenants might be around the neighborhood relatively soon. And then at this point, Pryor and Strife were actually allowed to speak to the high priestess of the temple, who had taken ill, which is an unusual thing. Priestesses and priests don't typically get and stay ill because they can cure disease. That's a normal sort of thing for priests. So when they stay ill, it's bad. And got taken back. She said she was glad that they were fine, and showed them what was wrong with her, and it was glass dwarf partially melted her body, and the glass dwarf repeatedly was saying Bolt's name. That's what happened last week. Let's backtrack. I'm gonna make this a group event. I've been talking for the past few minutes. I'm gonna let you guys tell the rest of the story. I'm gonna start with Strife because he's furthest to the left on my screen.
Oh, great. At which point are we starting from?
Tell us about Bolt.
Bolt is in the stereotypical angry, always violent dwarf who likes throwing his axe into people and countertops and whatever else he can find.
What? Okay. And he was originally a member of the party, correct?
Yes, he was originally a member.
Man back. What's
and
up,
tell
dude?
us about his exploits regarding the bugbear, and tell us about the bugbear.
Well, we were in a cave, and supposedly there was he figured out that the bugbear was up higher in the cave than he was, and we saw he was standing beneath a chimney chute. So he tied a piece of rope to his axe and threw it up the chimney chute and slammed him in the back, and then drug him down the chimney chute with his axe still lodged into the bugbear's back, and
Delayed video,
proceeded
though.
to wrestle him down. Like, they tumbled and rumbled for a bit.
It was
And they finally-
royally a rumble, yes.
Yeah. And then, so he finally died, and Bolt decided he was going to rip off this mask thing that was kind of welded or fused to his skull.
Hey, Croc.
The one thing I would change actually about what you said is that he didn't actually know the bugbear was up there. It was a lucky throw. He was trying to use his axe like a grappling hook to climb. And he rolled a 20.
True.
Yeah. Or it was 19. It was 19. It was ridiculously high. So yes, and the mask turned out to not be a mask. It turned out to be a glass orb that was embedded into his eye and was partially taking over his body. He managed to wrench it free, and he kept it in a safe place until the following morning. And then I'm actually going to skip to Gargantius. Gargantius, tell us what happened the following morning to Bolt.
So, the day started off like a normal day. The previous day, we had visited a blacksmith to get our weapons sharpened. And we woke up, and we were going to go get our weapons. We also had another party member with us. He was a paladin. whose name we will not discuss. Anyway.
But I promise he died very
Um,
painfully.
Yeah, he was found dead this morning. Wait, no, am I skipping details? Anyway, he's not important to the story.
Don't worry about it.
We go to the blacksmith, and it turns out that Bolt wanted. Well, I picked up my weapon, and Bolt had a question about the glass orb to ask the blacksmith. I leave the room, and Bolt asks if the blacksmith knew anything about this orb, and immediately the orb tried to start taking over his body. Thorns and tendrils were coming out. Like his hand was turning glassy, and he was screaming in pain.
Terrible.
So I ran back into the blacksmith's room, and I wrenched it away from him, and with some luck we got it away. We put it in a bag, and the paladin who was with us froze it in my backpack.
Hey, you ripped it out of his arm, tendrils included.
Yeah.
The tendrils turned into thorns.
It was literally like this far down into his arm, like it had drilled little veins inside, and he had to rip it all the way out, back up through the fingers.
Yeah, Lava King has nothing to do with your CPU. It's all internet.
Yes, so in his backpack, frozen solid, that backpack was. And the next day, they ended up going on a bit of a mission to try and track down the local gang that was causing trouble in the area.
JP, nice.
And in the midst of going through that, some mists overtook them in the lair and took them to another place they had not seen before. And Alafa, please tell us where you were taken and what happened to you all there.
We were taken to hell. That's where we went.
Not far off.
It was probably the shittiest place I've ever been in my life.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
We were taken to a place where nothing was what it seemed. Every time we took a corner, we died. Every time we missed a stone that we were supposed to step on, we died.
Well, what the
There was
heck?
nothing pleasant about this place. It was filled with horrors in every direction. We walked down me and Gargantius walked down a hallway which had some stone carving at the end of it, and we were going to inspect it. And because we were so lackadaisy about it, we didn't notice that the wall was closing in behind us. And by the time we tried to run out, we were squashed. And when we awoke, we were inside of another hallway. And there was no fun in that place at all.
And this sort of thing kept repeating. They kept dying, but every time they would come back. They did not stay dead. They were resurrected, seemingly of some unknown force, at random intervals and at random places. Gargantius, while down there, lost some things that were very important. Alafos, can you tell us about Gargantius losing things?
Besides Gargantius losing all of his clothes, he lost my ring of power, which was going to allow us to open a door, because he decided to start throwing things into a mouth that just continued to devour it.
Yep.
I wish he would
Yes,
just thrown himself in there and left everything behind.
He had walked through an arch that when he came out, everything on his person had vanished. His backpack, his clothing, his weaponry, his everything. He was stark naked and had none of his belongings.
He didn't lose his penis, though, right?
No, that came later.
Oh. Well, he did, but he got it back.
He did lose his penis.
Yes,
that was right.
That was... I think... Wait, was that him or was that somebody else?
Well, I know
that
Bolt
was
lost
me,
his
but it
penis,
was
too.
temporary.
Yeah, you went back through with the right sequence to get it back, and Bolt did not. So the belongings, his backpack, including the glass orb, had vanished. They were gone. and they never saw those belongings again.
Because we couldn't get through the wall to go to the rest of the part of where we needed to go to find all of our stuff.
Eventually, yes, you did find your way out of this horrible tomb by besting the lich which was residing there, but never did recover his belongings. When the party came back out the other side, the town that they had actually been in was completely slaughtered. Every person in the town was dead save for one. That one person was a woman who had basically said that she was interested in trying to help defeat the gangs. When they questioned her and really put the grill on her, they managed to intimidate her and get some information out of her, confirming that she was an agent of an organization called the Zentorem, or the Zents for short. And she was persuaded to lead them back to her bosses back in Neverwinter. So the party headed back, and they went into an inn that she said that her bosses could be found at which point the party was ambushed. Palna, please regale us the story of everything that went on in that inn that night.
Well, fair enough. I wasn't there for most of it, but I ended up, as we passed through the gates, Halia appeared to tip off one of the guards, so I decided to disguise myself as Halia, and I left the inn where they were headed, or I left the party. And
that's true. Yes.
I went to speak with
the party
one
was
of the
ambushed.
local guards. While that was going on, the party was definitely ambushed. They basically all went into the inn, and there was a bunch of guards with weapons pointed at them and drawn, and a blind bartender.
A blind bartender, that's right. who continued to polish mugs, as it were, the entire time all of this was happening. Eventually, the party did manage to turn the tables and enter into an honest fight with their captors. And Palna had snuck in around the back, as had Alafa. Well, Alafa had snuck in around the front, was waving spells at the bad guys. And Palna, tell us what. Wait, Gargantia says, what do we miss?
Well, I mean,
so
Halia.
At first, I had to talk him down, and Bolt attacked out of nowhere when we were in peaceful negotiations.
So you were the one putting down your weapons while they had us all at spear point.
Yeah.
Yes.
What we have learned is Gargantius makes poor decisions in stressful situations.
Well,
trying to take things
I'll agree to
captive.
disagree.
Yes, we'll all agree to disagree with you.
Nice.
Palna, go ahead, continue.
So Halia basically was disguised. We soon discovered that she was actually a dark elf. What's the term?
A drow.
A drow, yes, thank you. So I had no idea what the heck that meant, but that was cool. So we everyone was fighting, and eventually everyone was more or less killed. It was down to the captain and Halia, and Bolt decided that while Halia was down with she's pretty much bleeding out, Gargantius went over to try and save her in the hopes that we could maybe get some information out of her and keep her alive. And
probably because he wanted to give her mouth to mouth.
Probably. That seems to happen with a lot of characters dying in D&D. Yeah. And so Bolt ran over with his axe and basically sliced off Halia's boobs and decided to try and make gloves out of them. So that was interesting. And then Alafa...
I would like to repeat that.
Yeah, go
he
for it.
He decided that it would be a good idea to slice off her boobs and make gloves out of them.
While she's alive.
While she was still alive.
She was still alive. I didn't know she was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
She was still alive.
I saved her. I rolled a 19 on a medicine check.
No, you didn't. You had saved her, and then he did that, and
Yeah.
she basically, even though she was unconscious, she still screamed with the sheer amount of pain, and then perished immediately.
Yeah.
From shock
So-
and blood loss.
So then the captain, who was, I guess, her lover as well, was there to witness this and kind of freaked out. And then Alafa cast, what's that laughing spell?
Tasha's hideous
Tasha's
laughter.
hideous laughter.
On him. So
That's
he
right,
basically,
on the guard.
Yeah, so he basically dropped down laughing while his lover bled out on the floor.
His lover. Yeah. It was evil. It was very evil.
Suddenly chaotic evil.
Suddenly chaotic evil.
And
well, not
then-
for Alafa. Alafa was.
And then
That was
we
always
hear
chaotic
That
evil.
was for Bolt.
golf clap, like slow clapping in the back.
That's right. The bartender at that. No. No, that's not what finished it. That's not what finished it. Paloma, please continue.
So, I was at the back through when I saw this, and kind of barfed and wasn't sure what was going on. So I think Stryth finished off the guard or incapacitated him with a punch to the face or something. Is that what happened, Stryth?
Yeah, the guard went all like berserk style and started just attacking everything in sight.
Right.
We finally managed to get him pinned up against the wall, and Alafa cast his what's your bolt spell?
Eldritch
No pun
Blast.
intended. Yeah,
Eldritch Blast, yeah.
your Eldritch Blast, and managed to catch everyone on fire with the lantern that was hanging on the wall.
Right. And Bolt, I think, tried to do a whole spin with his axe and then missed and hit himself. Is that what happened?
Yeah, he threw his axe at the guard. His axe stuck in the wall, so
Right.
the next turn came around, and he pulled his axe out of the wall and tried to do like a spinning move. I don't know what you call it. He tried to basically spin his axe and
A whirlwind, yeah.
and tried to reattack the guard with it. He succeeded in pulling the axe out of the wall, but he messed up the other part and almost decapitated himself.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Yeah. So, so after all this,
So,
was this the golf clap or was this the other part?
no.
Not
Go on.
quite.
Is Golf Clap was after your contribution.
Right, so while all this fighting is going on, I'm still a little messed up from what I witnessed, because back several years prior, previously, not prior, not AO prior, I came home essentially, and both my parents had been assassinated. My father, who was an elf, did some work with the local embassy. Jess, thanks for the host. I appreciate it. So I sort of went off to the side, and I had set up a bit of a trap. Reason being that the way that my parents were killed was in a very similar fashion to what Bolt had just done to Halia. So I made the conclusion that either Bolt's
I mean, that's pretty much how he killed
That-
her. So I need to know, like, is that what happened?
Yeah,
we could talk about this.
Both my parents were pretty much skinned alive in various forms. So I didn't see Bolt wearing any sort of leather armor, but I wasn't entirely sure. So I figured it was either him that actually killed my parents, or he was somehow possessed, or being driven by the same evil that was responsible for it. So at this point, he had messed himself up with his axe. Stryth went to go save him. I told him to back off, and while he was bleeding out on the floor, I crashed down behind him and slit his throat. Insert golf clap here. Is Q talking, or?
Q.
Push to talk.
Earth to Q.
My fault. At this part, the bartender does start golf clapping. He reveals himself as being somewhat of a local leader for the Zents. and says, well, now that is excellent work you guys have done. You've proven yourselves, but now I am down on resources because you killed my agents. Who's going to be responsible for this? If not you, then I will make sure that something bad happens. Essentially, I'm paraphrasing. And yes, he was eyeless, had no eyes, completely blank. Didn't stop him from, looking you guys straight in the faces and acting like he was very capable of seeing. And I'm going to summarize some of this other stuff because it's not necessarily as relevant to what is going on here. But essentially, the bartender says, find me some help. They go out looking in the city. They find somebody who's potentially eligible. They close up that line of questioning, get some information from the bartender. They also try to find out the whereabouts of Bolt's soul. Sorry, dramatic music just played.
I heard a guitar solo.
Well, it is in my channel. They tried to figure out the whereabouts of Bolt's soul as well, only to find out that they could not reach it. Wherever it was, it had the grasp of something very strong on it. There was one other point, actually. This is potentially relevant. Paulna neglected that right before he slit Bolt's throat. The instant before, he did not have a chance to stop himself. It was that quickly before. Do you want it to be secret of knowledge, Paulna? Would you rather not know?
I have no idea what you're talking about. But you can continue your story.
He's in denial. That's okay. That's fine. Some sort of spirit did seem to vacate Bolt's body right before the knife passed over his flesh and bled him out. Anyway, so they did attempt to find Bolt's soul. Weren't able actually to get him back. Something had a grasp on his soul and it wouldn't let go. And they went to try and track him down. They got sidetracked by a few different things, one of which is they had this quest that if you've been watching recently, you may have seen the party went to go talk to a banshee, fought a banshee to try and recover a spell book which had information that apparently was about the Forge of Souls, or I'm sorry, the Forge of Spells. They didn't know that ahead of time. Didn't end up getting that book, but that's another story for another day. Bolt actually ended up coming back to help in the fight. He came back to life, much in the same way the party had come back to life over and over again in that horrible tomb. And then the rest of this party did die fighting the Banshee as well. They came back in the same way. They didn't realize it until they got back to town. They had been dead for 6 months. And a lot of things can happen in 6 months. There's been a bit of a streak of crime and murders going on in the city. They actually saw a couple while they were there. It was the same style. I don't know if I pointed it out to you before. I think I might have. You had seen houses that were burned and destroyed with nothing living left inside. Those are the same types of crimes which have been happening for the past 6 months, off and on, only once every month or so.
Chocolate from Easter.
I think that about covers it. They did along the way pick up Pryor, who was assisting them on their journey. Thank you, Pryor. Is there anything else that you all feel... Oh, yes, okay, yes, we did miss some things. Yes, okay. Lord Albrecht? Did we do anything with Lord Albrecht?
There's a letter. It just says, "Dear Lord Albrecht." So that's why I was wondering who the is that. And I don't know who that is. That's why I'm asking.
Okay. Sure. Okay, so so let's start with Gundren. Gundren was the whole reason they went off in the first place. Gundren was a dwarf who had employed. Actually, this is quite relevant, so I'm glad you mentioned it. Was a dwarf who had employed them to help run some supplies down to a town called Phandalin. This is the very beginning of the story. Along the way, Gundren went ahead of the rest of the party, and he was accosted and captured by goblins, and that's what got them in the whole thing. Okay, all right. I'm doing it, guys. I'm doing it. That's what started along the way. So this whole time they've been looking for Gundren, and then it turned out that the reason Gundren was kidnapped was because somebody by the name of the Black Spider was looking for them. Was looking for him, looking for dwarven maps. You did notice that a lot of the supplies that Gundren was actually running, had you guys running, were mining supplies. So he specifically
Thank you, JP.
had been picked up under orders of the Black Spider. Let's see, what else? Lord Albrecht and Glassstaff, they are the same person. Lord Albrecht was a magician in the town of Phandalin. He had been a double agent, as it were. He'd been a normal resident of the town who was actually found out as being someone working for the local gang and also working for the Black Spider at the same time. But he was killed when everybody in Phandalin was killed. And what killed everybody in Phandalin appeared to be something that had things like claws, but the cuts were too fine. They were not... I mean, claws usually rip and tear. And these were not...
Hi, Riff.
Fine. These were not tears. They were very fine cuts, like from a very, very sharp blade. But they were parallel, like claws would be if they were raked. So it was a very unusual style of cut. Does that kind of help to answer those bits?
How notable a figure was Lord Albrecht Glassstaff? Like, was he known as Glassstaff because you know, a lot of teams come because of something.
So he was known as... This is also very important.
Because
he was known as a Glassstaff.
Yeah.
Because he actually did wield a glass staff, but at the same time, it wasn't just his staff that was glass. It was his entire arm leading up and about maybe this part, this side.
Red Rum, this is just a recap of what's happened so far.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yes. Much like the original Bugbear.
Okay,
yes.
And then next question. Do we know more specifically, I'm not saying like who, like organization-wise, but like races or creatures that took Gundren?
Leva, you buy my
any idea of that?
Goblins.
Was it goblins? Okay. We fought goblins. We did that. Okay, no, I'm making connections in my mind. I will work with it. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Halia had seen what the being was that killed everybody in Phandalin, and to her, she said it looked like a glass dwarf.
And Lord Albrecht was known as a human, right? Or was he known as... Okay,
yes. Yes. Yes, he was.
Okie dokie.
Let's see, what else? There's so many little threads that I've just dropped, and I've had no idea how many of them you guys have picked up and tied together. We haven't really talked about it a lot. So let's see, what else?
Well, okay, next, one other, and this,
yes.
I will do research on it, like, character-wise, but you said bugbears and goblins originally. And then we went to Cragmaw, we ran into goblins. Plus, the goblins had...
In an orc.
Yeah, and the orc. and then they were associated with the Black Spider. With the goblins that took Gundren, is it confirmed or is it only speculated that they were with the Black Spider?
They were the bugbear was under orders from.
I'm not gonna tell him his voice is screwed up.
Castle Cragmaw is the castle you were just at.
Okay, and you have a crazy echo going. Sound effect.
Eli.
Yeah.
The demon has descended.
That made it much more epic than I intended.
Yeah. No, okay, so there is some. Okay, that I think I'm starting to piece pieces of, or piece little pieces of it together.
Back.
Yeah, he did that one on purpose.
Yeah, I know.
Cool. The only other question, and this is maybe when we start, I'll do the dwarf that is in. What's the priestess's name? Do we know? Does she have a name?
I don't think she's told us.
Okay, not yet. Okay.
Haven't told you.
So that'll be. Okay. I was just wondering if it's if we recognize it, but that's part for the roleplay part to go. So never mind. I'll wait.
So quick question, real fast. The glass dwarf, it's growing out of where?
It is growing out of her torso.
Have we seen how far down it goes yet? No, these are legit questions. Like I need to know.
I need to know for my fanfic.
No, because I have a very valid.
That was a
point
well-timed giggity. Well-timed giggity, Nemo. Well-timed. It goes down pretty far. You will probably actually see that it goes down to her thigh.
Okay.
She will, of course, be tastefully covered just in the right place.
Absolutely. No, the only reason I asked that is because I'm curious of how she came in contact with it, with her body, since...
Well, I think we were about to get that. I think we're about to do that.
Well, the main reason I suggest that is I'm assuming the bugbear was looking through it when it attached to its eye and face, since when Bolt held it in his hand, that's where it attached itself. So I can only assume that either she was wearing it as some type of design, or somebody put it up against her and had to have held it there long enough for it not to be weird for her. Since, they had to have gotten close enough and held her, embraced her, maybe. Maybe it was a friend.
Yeah. So thank you to all of my players who have given me regaling me with your tales. I have given each of you a inspiration for your assistance. And Prior, you have the opportunity to earn inspiration right now as well. Because I'm going to give you a chance to tie one more thread in. It's a recent thread. And I would like to know if you remember any other mentions of glass in the past few weeks.
Give me a minute, because...
Do we want to start a pool, like start taking bets on when Strythe will actually use an inspiration or his badass card?
Well, it's kind of like Alafa. He was up to 7, and he's like, I'm going to spend all 7 to get my spell slots back.
Yeah,
he didn't do shit for me.
Yeah. Shit, another mention of glass? Okay, give me a minute.
We had a recent mention of glass. It wasn't actually you. I'll give you a hint. It wasn't actually you that saw the glass. It was another character.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So it was when I wasn't sure you said glass. I remember it being crystalline. When Gargantuous was trying to get in the suit of magical armor, he got stuck and cut his fingers on, was like slick metal or glass.
So Palma, do you want to slit his throat too?
Well, what was Palma's knife when he killed Bolt made of glass? Because there's, maybe that's what's glass is evil in this world. Glass is evil. Okay, thank you. Yeah, it was it was the enchanted armor and finger cutting on glass. That's right.
And remember what I had said about how the orc was in there.
Yeah, he was like stuck in there. It was like it shaped around him. It was almost as if it was molded to him, and that one can assume that it's either because it's of magical descent or because it was taking over him or something like that.
We discovered that it wasn't magical.
No, the magic was
way that
locked.
we could.
Yeah,
nice one, Chica.
When we did that. And the other thing that we did forget to mention, since we did the whole going underneath Cragmaw Castle, is we did find the goblin hoard, I guess maybe you would call it that, the little treasure room. And we found a lot of sweet loot for a lot of people, but more importantly, we found the parchments about the drow that was devoted to second chances that leads to speculations that in the future Driders, which are those half drow, half spider dudes, might become part of the story.
And I need to make one comment real fast. It's being brought up in my channel.
Comment away.
Nima, I know your dinner wasn't small, bro. You're still eating Cheerios. What's going on here? You had it.
I don't want to leave.
Plate of food.
I don't want. Well, I finished my plate. I
noticed you finished your plate and you're eating Cheerios now.
Yeah, I don't want to leave the room, so I have.
You have an active metabolism, dude.
Yeah,
I know.
He's
That's
the Flash.
our Nima.
The Flash would be eating more hot dogs than anything else.
All right. So, now, let's pick up where we left off. And now, the rest of our story.
Next time on D&D.
Next time on D&D.
Yay!
All right.
The Magnaling, wow.
So, let's start with
BRB, guys, one
Strife
sec.
and Prior. Bolt. Oh, hang on.
Guys, I gotta go AFK for a minute. I'll be back. I still have the headphones on.
Oh!
We love you. Be safe.
Be safe and sexy.
Cool.
Yeah, let me actually start off with at some point I may have to bug out. I've got a kid who may be having night terrors or developing them, so that's gonna be fun. Seems to be fine so far tonight.
That voice though, no wonder the kid has fucking night terrors.
Okay, all right, go on, go ahead.
Wait, they let you have a child?
Yes, believe it or not. Strife, Palma, or Briar?
Okay, so we see the half dwarf. Last word. It's saying Bolt and Bolt. It doesn't look like Bolt, right? By any chance.
It looks dwarven.
It looks like a
You
glass.
don't know
But I
what
mean,
Bolt
how
looks like.
detailed is the glass? Because I've seen Bolt.
It looks like a glass
It is
door.
very detailed. Strife.
Hang on. Prior, you saw Bolt the first night when we went against the Banshee.
I did see Bolt, so that's what I was asking. Does it look like Bolt? Would I recognize that it looks like Bolt?
It looks exactly like Bolt.
Yay! Okay. All right. Shit. Because I'm assuming how is the priestess reacting? Is she just weak and tired, or does she when I'm gonna call it the dwarf. When the dwarf communicates, is it straining her in any way? Is it taxing on her? Is it hurting her?
A little bit, yeah. You think so?
Okay.
Corinthians, you're not there. You're being administered to by Brother Freud.
Yeah, crazy man. I guess whoever answers, I mean, I'm just asking her, and I'm assuming she's being attended to by other healers and monks around her. Like, when, like, just general, what happened? When did this happen to you? Like, fill me in on the details, please.
She will pull the blanket back over her, and the dwarf seems to subside.
Okay.
As if the darkness basically gives him no further cause to speak. And she will, in a weary voice, say...
In a weary, deep voice.
Somehow they keep switching. It is of my own doing. I'd heard of the terror, the foul deeds that were being committed, and I sought to assist, to bring him or whatever was doing this to justice. I found this instead. I found him wandering and just killing whatever stood in his path. He looked like he was barely holding form, but still. So I tried to fight him, but my magic failed. I still do not know why. So I did what I could. So I was able to see what he was, and I took him onto myself to contain him, to prevent him from continuing what he was doing.
What did you see him as? What was he?
He was as you see him now.
Hey guys.
Albeit without being attached.
Okay.
Thanks, Danny.
Are you... I'm assuming this other creature has its will intact. Are you able to maybe sense what it's thinking or feeling?
It is thinking purely of someone named Bolt. That is all it is thinking of. Whoever this Bolt man is, he will just wander until he finds him. And I do not know what will happen when he does.
So, Pryor, here's my theory. I'm just talking to Pryor on this. When we pulled out the orb from Bolt's hand back in Phandalin, I think a portion or essence of Bolt came out with it into the orb, which allowed it to reconstruct itself into this killing crystalline being. And from there, it managed to follow us to Neverwinter City and wreak havoc until the missus here found him.
Maybe. Okay, so
speaking for the rest of Bolt to finish reconstructing itself.
So are we thinking maybe that a piece of Bolt's soul was taken and trapped in this crystalline creature and manifested into it, and that's why when we were trying to find his soul, it was as if it was being held on to something, and we couldn't necessarily
Yeah, that would
That
make
might
sense
be it.
actually. Yeah, because the not the Zentrum guy, but the other priest that we handed over to the bartender.
Yeah,
he did say that it was like something was holding him here.
I was there. I remember.
Now, the weird thing though, Gargantius didn't have a soul either.
Q.
He is.
Anything we can maybe roll
Hi, Aurora.
to see if connection is solid or valid?
What, between her and it?
No, okay, so Strife kind of pulled me off to the side for a moment and was telling me, like, recapping that, the glass orb, in this case, was was becoming part of Bolt, and Gargantuan ripped it out of him. Well, maybe when he ripped it out, it took a piece of Bolt with him, and I said, well, maybe it could be part of his soul. Manifested into this creature, and that's why it's trying to find Bolt so that it can reunite with Bolt so it can be whole again. And that might explain why when the cleric, the K-god cleric, I forgot his name, was trying to...
Kelvor.
Kelvor was using, I think, Palma's bloody knife to...
Oh, no, Kelvor's the god. Kelvor's the god, sorry.
Yeah. But the Kelvor cleric or whatever,
Yeah.
Right. So when he was using Palma's knife in the inn to try to get in touch with Bolt, he's the one that told us it was as if Bolt was being held somewhere. And maybe most of Bolt was off in the distance and, getting ready to meet its final end, but the crystalline creature has part of Bolt's soul, and that's what's holding on to it.
Go bullshit.
That is possible.
Okay.
If that is the case, then whatever this thing is would have to have an enormous amount of power to retain a soul with the kind of, for lack of a better term, tensile strength that was exhibited.
But
and it doesn't explain why you guys came back.
But at the same time, this thing, you said tensile strength, so this creature is strong. This creature is holding down, even though it might be on her own will because she confronted it, holding down a high priestess of a freaking entire monk monastery temple. The thing's strong. I'm pretty sure we can...
But then again, it doesn't explain you guys. It doesn't explain why you guys came back after dying.
But then again, it doesn't explain why I came back. I was never with the group originally.
Yeah, we came back because... Tomb of Horrors aside, we came back and didn't have issues with our spirit, maybe being split or what have you.
But Gargantius,
didn't
there
try
was the
to
issue.
integrate with us.
What's up, homie?
What?
No, because when we took Gargantius's body to the same area where we are now, where Bolt's body was, the priests that were performing the same ritual said that it was the same thing. His soul wasn't there.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. Okay.
See, I figured it out. Q, don't be mad. Don't be mad. I feel lightning about to strike me. Nothing in this is real. It's all a dream. It's a shared dream. That's why we keep coming back to life. And at the end of this adventure, all of our viewers are going to be super pissed that nothing that happened mattered. Now, that will only be true for the ones that did not enjoy the journey. Because isn't it all about the journey with this game?
Thank you, Stephen King.
Nice.
This is not the Dark Tower. Alafa, that is an excellent theory, and I will admit that I considered it.
Of course, everybody has to.
Yeah.
I
would not pull a Dallas.
Shows that
I
do
would
that.
not pull a
Lost
Dallas
was not one of
on
them. Lost was not one of those shows.
I would not pull a Dallas. I just dated myself. I would not pull a Dallas. No. It's considered to be poor storytelling.
Alright, so I'll reapproach the priestess and those attending her, and I'll ask, how long ago did this happen to you?
Hang on.
It has been almost a week.
Wow.
Oh, so much more recent than I thought. Okay. Where did you find the dwarven construct, the glass creature? Where was it? Was it at Vandalin? Was it coming here?
In Neverwinter. In the streets.
Okay.
Near the docks.
Ooh, the docks. Okay.
Near the docks, so it probably was what killed Gargantius.
That's literally why I said, ooh, the docks.
Yeah.
It's quite literally why I said, ooh, the docks.
Why was she at the docks? We know what goes on at the docks. Why was she at the docks?
You're not there. You're getting drunk.
I'm speaking out loud. I'm not getting drunk.
He's not getting drunk. He's confronting the old hot wizard, apparently.
The wizard is showing us what's going on.
Shit. All right. I'm trying to think here. Strife, if anything comes to mind, just speak. But I'll ask. I'll ask her. The people attending to her. Have they tried removing the dwarf? What happens if they like touch it or?
They have to no avail. None of their magic seems to have any effect on it. It fizzles.
Did they physically try to remove it?
My perception roll is to see if the 1 week time is at the same point that we were resurrected. In the crypt.
No, but it's close. Maybe 1 or 2 days before.
Okay.
Sorry, you were saying prior?
Wait, so with that, so 1 or 2 close. Bolt was with us. Bolt didn't come back with us when he died in the crypt. Now this crystal thing is looking for. Okay, so I said like physically remove it. Like, have they actually tried cutting at it or pulling on it? Or
it draws blood from her when they do. When they try to cut it out.
Okay.
I mean, that makes sense to a degree, but it's yeah. So that's probably not a good enough description. It not only draws blood, but causes extreme amounts of pain that are what's the word I'm looking for? Unlevel. Doesn't match what they're doing. Like it causes far more pain.
All right, my question is, when the glass was fused to the bugbear, and he removed it.
He removed it after the bugbear was dead.
Dead, yes, I understand. But when he removed it, did like the entire? It's up to Strife here if he remembers. The part that was glass, did it remain glass when they removed it, or did it turn back to flesh?
Yeah, it remained glass.
Okay,
but that side of his face was glass, right? Q. You said it wasn't metal before.
As I recall,
was it maybe a mask that was covering the?
No, it was a metal mask. But the glass did completely come away from him.
Okay, because
there was still a metal mask, though. Yeah.
All right, my one medicine check thing would be like to try to scrape off a piece of this crystalline creature and see if it turns back into her flesh or if it stays crystal. Trying to see like, is it taking over her? Is it just seeking refuge inside of her? She never really explained, like, did she, because she didn't necessarily lose the confrontation with it, but she didn't win either. Did she, like, smother the thing and then try to make sure that it's not going anywhere? Did it jump inside of her and now she can't get rid of it? Yes, she's got it contained like she wanted to.
She held it fast. She held it fast.
Oh, she's such a dumb bitch. Okay. I'll ask them if they've tried, like, when they remove a piece of it, does it stay crystal, or have they just tried chipping away at it a little bit? I know it causes her pain, but
that's the problem. It does. So they haven't really done a whole lot of it. They,
I'll straight up ask them if I can try something.
They probably would have tried. They probably would have tried. And yes, it remains glass.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
Bolt's body supposedly should be still in his grave, although I'm not sure with him appearing in the crypt with us if that would have changed since we've been in the city. But I'm also wondering what effect it would have if the crystalline form that is stuck on her was able to sight or know of where Bolt's body is buried.
Well, I'm doing well, dude. How are you doing? How's your back been, by the
insight
way?
check. How dumb of an idea is it to go get Bolt's dead body and bring it here?
That's more of an intelligence than an insight check.
Fine. Let's
or
do
wisdom.
this.
Wisdom, straight up wisdom. Yeah.
Sweet.
Let me roll it.
Aw.
What are your
I say do it.
bonuses? What are your bonuses?
Well,
I say
if you're just doing straight, if you're doing straight untrained wisdom, luck stone
Yes.
+5. If you're allowing me to guidance myself, add a d4 on top of that.
And I'm at a +3.
Alright.
Well, it might not even be there. I mean, with Bolt's body coming back, it might not be in the crypt, but still, right?
Right. Yeah, it's worth a shot.
All right, all you people, all my players watching in my stream right now, look away.
Nima.
You said 5?
+5, and if you allow guidance, +d4.
Okay. You have no effing clue.
Alright.
And Strife, you said D3 or +3?
Yep.
Okay. My chat channel is advising that you all run away. Let's see.
Probably good advice.
What was the question exactly? Whether it'd be a good idea to dig up his body?
Would it be a waste? Yeah,
And-
basically a good idea or
Would
and
be a
a
waste.
waste of time to see if
Well,
his
that's
body
the
is
thing.
there,
Oh, just to see if his body is there? I mean,
and then to bring it if it
Well, I
is
mean,
there.
we
Strife
can
Strife,
check
you think
and
it couldn't
see.
hurt. I mean, he's likely to come back regardless, even if he hasn't already. So it can't
Well-
really hurt.
Well, here's what we're thinking. We're thinking if we go and get Bolt's body and
Yeah.
either bring it to her to it, what have you, if the crystalline form will willingly leave her body to get into Bolt, since I'm assuming that is his goal.
Yeah. And then we could capture the now zombie crystalline bolt dwarf creature and contain it.
Yep. And if it would kill the priest, this cleric.
Monk,
Wow.
badass bitch. Boom.
So
That thing would dig.
Strife, I mean, it couldn't. Strife, you have a bad feeling. You don't
I think it's gonna
know
kill her.
why. You don't know why this thing wants Bolt so bad. You don't see how it could be.
Okay.
You gotta. I'm talking like a Han Solo. You got a bad feeling about this.
I say we make Alafa
Read
enslave
its
Bolt's
mind.
body first.
Sorry,
or
guys,
something.
I'm having some
yeah,
crazy
we can
draw
have him do
frames
that.
here.
I
Reach into
mean-
crystalline form's mind.
All he'll hear is bolt.
Yeah, probably.
Bolt.
I'm gonna just give you a quick insight of what would happen if I'm involved in this in any way. I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the fucking crystal.
I know you
right
are.
off the side of her body. If she's as
I know.
good of a healer as she's supposed to be, that wound will be no problem to heal up real quick. I'll Eldritch Blast it.
Well, she
That's
might
the
be
feeling
good, but
you
if
get when you think about involving
if she dies and her other healers are not capable of doing said, then we just wasted a valuable resource.
It's not my temple.
Fucking warlocks. God damn it.
Fucking chaotic evil warlocks.
You're more chaotic neutral than anything.
Nah, I just can't be as evil as I want to be.
Yeah.
I was really bad before you came in. Like, I would use the tendrils around everybody, not
Nice.
giving a fuck.
Nice.
It's true.
All right.
It's totally true.
Strife, I don't know about you, but I need a little bit of time to kind of think. If you got anything, go for it.
Well, we do have the other group. We have the other group.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to.
Yeah,
So let's
That's all
go
I got.
back to the other group.
that's all I got for now. Well, Prior and I will
Incidentally-
muddle things over.
Incidentally, just so you guys know, the priestess's name, just so you have this, so you can put it on your journals or whatever, or refer to her. She is Priestess Peach.
You living in a castle?
How original.
You have one of my viewers to thank for that. He paid good levels to get that name put into place.
Is her real body in the castle?
I'm not saying. All right.
She's the
So,
high
Palma-
priestess, right?
Yes, the high priestess of the temple in
Can you spell
city.
Tamara for me, real quick?
Tymora. Gargantius, you can have talked your way out of this whole place if you want to by now.
What's up?
You can rejoin the others if you wish.
Oh, like what do I just does Father Freud say? I
You've
think the
had
friends
no
are over
luck.
here.
Yes, essentially.
All right, so Father Freud brings me to the room.
Take this to the chemist and be very
No
careful where
apothecary?
you walk. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Father. Oh, whoa! Wait, I don't know
No,
what's under that.
nine. I am simply ein brother. I am not your father. Do not get
No, but like
be
Father
confused
is
with your father.
No, Father is in Father.
No,
in
I am
the
not
temple.
father. No.
Oh, you're not.
Nine. No.
Okay.
No.
Thanks, Doctor.
I didn't know they had
Want-
German accents in
Want,
Neverwinter.
want nothing to do with fathers. No. 9.
99999.
Hey guys, so what's going on over here?
Yeah, we just let him. We tell him.
Here.
We ran
I got
into
refresh.
Okay.
the glass, and I'm not sure that she wants to lift the thing, but we're just saying we met the high priestess. She's incredibly ill, and I'll fill him in on what we know so far.
All right. And then he gets one of these
blah,
moments.
blah. So Bolt's in there? Bolt!
No,
Well,
I
I
don't
guess-
know if that's Bolt. It wants Bolt. We don't know if it is Bolt.
Oh.
So
Okay.
That's not
Let's
Strength,
okay.
does it look
okay.
like him?
Maybe.
Stop. You guys can play
Mhm.
that conversation or whatever. We'll assume it happened. Paulina and Alafi, you've been sitting very patiently.
I haven't. Don't lie to the viewers. I haven't been patient at all. I've been butting it every chance I get.
You have been sitting very impatiently. So you've been speaking with the old man, and he told you that potentially they might come back. What are you guys doing? What are your plans? What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm gonna propose that we find this lieutenant or whoever it is that's running the. Oh my goodness! One sec, guys.
Didn't we already speak to the old man and we were already going inside one of the warehouses?
Oh, that's right. You had. That's right.
Well, we were in a warehouse, and then we went and spoke to the old man. But we were going to be looking for the lieutenant or whoever it was that was coming. The go-between for Fingers McGee and people who have jobs for him.
I think you got that reversed. I was actually, if I remember right, y'all are actually in a warehouse. Alafa told you with his mind that he's going to check outside, and you were inside one of the warehouses looking for if there's something, and you were like specifically looking for like if crates were moved or dust was this, because you were looking for hidden doors and stuff.
Yeah, but we didn't find anything, so then we went to the shop.
I thought you went to a. I thought okay, maybe I got the order. I thought you were going to a next one. But okay, cool, good.
All right. So what are you gentlemen doing? Sorry, one gentleman, one asshole. What are you guys doing?
I'm a dick, not an asshole.
Oh,
Bolt's
sorry.
the dick. Alafa's the asshole. Get it right.
The one that fucks everybody. Remember? Come on now.
Dicks fuck assholes. Yes. Okay.
Exactly. If dicks didn't fuck assholes, then they would just shit all over everything.
This whole conversation.
Yep. Thank you, Team America, and thank you, Alafa.
I was listening to that the other day.
Paulna?
Well, lost my train of thought. No, I'm going to head over to the shadows and see if I can find anyone sort of lurking about who fits the description of the lieutenant the old guy told us about.
Okay. Well, it is rather late, I think. Yes, you guys had arrived in the city quite late at night. Or quite late in the evening, so by the time you've actually gotten down here and walked around, it's getting quite late. There are very few people around. The only people that seem to be around seem to be probably on board ships or in taverns. So you could head to a tavern, start asking around.
Yeah, tavern would be a good place, I guess. And this is a tavern down by the docks anyways.
Down by the docks. So you know that it's going to be a clean and reputable establishment. That was
Perfect.
sarcasm.
Yeah, of course.
By the way.
Yeah, let's
Just
go
making
there.
sure.
Alaf, are you down? Tavern, or do you want to
I'm
split
down.
up? All right.
Let's do it. No. Mm-mm. No splitting. we are split enough right now from everybody else.
We already broke the first rule. We split the party. Don't split it again.
Yep. Okay, so you will find a nearby tavern. We will call it the name Salty Nipple. That's not bad. I'm gonna go with the Bag and Dragger. The Bag and Dragger.
Alrighty.
That is the name of the place. Oh, the Salty Nipples. Salty. We'll say there is a Salty Nipples down the road.
Before I go in through the door, do I see any markings that would indicate presence of some sort of alignment with thieves or a mark of sorts?
Well, as I've said, every establishment, every building down here seems to actually have some sort of mark on it already. Most of them have the same mark, that one of being territory. And that would include this one as well.
Right, so it is owned by the local Thieves Guild, okay.
As it were. Owned.
Right.
Owned, protected, whatever. Yeah.
All right. So, Alonso,
All right.
do you want to
Go
stay
inside.
here and keep an eye out? Or are you coming in with?
I will go in with.
All right. So we waltz on in through the front and start to take a look around.
All right. Palmer, you walk in through the door, only to have a chair splinter on the door jamb beside you. As you walk in, it's extremely startling because you did not expect that, but you can see that it was not actually aimed at you. There appears to be a minor scuffle going on. Establishment, and some fisticuffs are being thrown about, as is furniture. There is a large amount of people. Well, we'll call them people, cheering the combatants on.
Anything particular about these combatants? All human, I assume.
You probably you think that perhaps one of them doesn't have fully human blood. There might be some orcish in there somewhere. But because he does kind of have that hulking, slightly underbite look about him, with maybe not a rosy complexion to back it up. Throws down gold on the left guy. Alafa, please roll me a d4. And how much gold?
Dang it, I lost cameras again.
10 gold.
All right. Okay, so the left guy, I'm going to say that is not the orcish guy. It's the other one. You got the orcish blood.
Having a heck of a time tonight with this.
10 gold? Alright. Anybody in my channel, if they want to bet levels, feel free. Just tell me. So the fight is going on. Alafa, are you going to ringside seats, or are you just kind of letting that happen and sticking with Palna?
I'm sticking with Paul. I'm just letting it happen.
Alright. So, Palna, what's up?
I'm going to go to the bartender, if you will, and
okay.
I proceed to describe the gentleman that I'm looking for.
The bartender, you would swear, doesn't look human. He looks like a dwarf, but he is quite, well, let's put it this way. His head is at height with your head, and it's only after kind of curiously, kind of glancing around the bar, you can see he's got a step stool that he's standing on, so he can still be at height. And
that's funny.
So he looks at you, gets the measure of you, spits on the bar right in front of you, and picks up his own rag and starts polishing it.
Of course.
While staring. What?
Sorry, I missed the last thing you said. It cut out for me.
I said,
what?
Was that a what?
I
have no idea what he's saying. Okay, so we're looking for someone that can put us in touch with Fingers McGee. I was told that there may be someone in the area.
The entire place goes quiet. And in fact, you even hear it.
Oh, shit's about to get good.
So I clear my throat and
even the pugilists are like holding on, like one of them's got the other by the throat, and he's like,
I clear my throat and I lean in a little closer, whispering now, and proceed to ask again if anyone in the area fits that description.
the dwarf just stares for a moment.
What you be wanting him for?
We need some pressing information, and I was told that McGee was the guy to talk to. And I also heard that he was available for various jobs. I mean, anyone's available for a price, so.
You're serious?
Yep, pretty serious. Now, I'd appreciate if you quit wasting my time and let me know if you know where this guy is.
You hear the sound of a mug dropping behind you. And start rolling on the ground. It does that of a wood cylindrical object rolling on wood.
I thought that was a reenactment of Q in the bedroom. I didn't know what was going on.
Wow. Damn.
Oh my.
Oh my.
He looks over at you, Alafa.
What about you, Pansy Nancy boy? You with this fool?
I am.
I'm having really bad.
Going to
Oh, I knew this was gonna happen.
cast a spell.
Oh god.
I'm going to cast this at myself. And I'm going to make the illusion of green flames engulfing my body.
Okay. Once again, the chat is advising retreat.
The chat shall always advise retreat. Because the chat is a bunch of Nancy boys.
Oh.
Love that internet struggle. Love it.
Okay. So, you wreathe yourself in green flame, and then what? Now, everybody, you kind of hear the sound of a lot of wood scraping on a lot of wood as a lot of chairs scoot back about an inch.
Just an inch? They must be tiny. This will be fun.
That's a lot of tiny wood, yes.
A lot of tiny wood.
My goodness.
I respond to him and I'm like, yes, I am with him.
The bartender himself has reeled back a little bit. You don't know, do you?
No, what?
Just when did you get into town, anyway?
I don't see how that's relevant to anything.
You haven't heard. The only people who be wanting fingers right now be wanting him dead.
So...
You really don't know. You really don't know.
So he is alive.
Fingers has betrayed the city. He's betrayed to the undead forces.
He nods almost imperceptibly to the rest of the bar, and they resume their business. See if I can find. I can't find any good music. Screw it. Where's this? Okay.
Good Skyrim music.
As the brawl continues and the conversations resume, everything picks back up. There will be no Leroying. Not tonight. At least not yet. The bartender will... Look, lads, there's been a lot going on lately. You probably should take off. If you're looking... What do you be wanting fingers for anyway?
Well, specifically looking for some information on... And out of character, I totally forgot the names of...
Well, my friend has failed to explain.
You're looking for...
Is that he heard Fingers McGee has some skills that he would be interested in.
There are a lot of people in this city that have a lot of skills. That's not really very helpful.
Not the particular skills he has. If you catch my drift.
Well,
alright. I mean, clearly you're an elf, so I could see why you'd be interested in the agility of his digits.
That's great.
Which is exactly why I chose to roll a Jiro, but was declined and was forced to be this pale creature.
That's fine. You can still be... You can be an evil regular elf. That's fine.
Ha! Gay?
Alright.
No, seriously, what was the name of the guy that was affiliated with the letter?
Black Spider?
The Guardian... The Guardian Black Spider...
The Guardian of Thunder Tree.
Thunder Tree, yeah.
Right, that's who.
That was what I thought you were actually looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you repeat that then?
Just word for word, exactly the same.
Okay, alright.
He even uses air quotes and everything.
Exactly. Why wouldn't he?
Sure be a yes, that's correct.
Looking for something with a very distinct set of skills. No, if you're looking for somebody who's well connected, there are a few other people who might be able to. Don't know why I'm helping you with this. What's in it for me? Giving you a bit of information. There are shifted accents there.
Well, I could give you lessons on better accents.
Watch it, you.
Can't we fix it? No, okay.
What's in it for me?
I'll throw down 3 gold pieces onto the counter.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? That's an insult. Come on, he said.
Well, he's like quietly like palming the 3 gold.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab his beard and pull him over the counter, just like towards me, not like yank him off his stool. I just gotta bring him towards me, and I'm gonna say that I could offer you a far worse exchange than 3 gold. I figured 3 gold was fairly fair, especially considering all the time that you wasted with all these pointless questions instead of answering my stupid question. I'll let go of his beard.
Oh, Paula is a dick. I like it.
All right.
I told you Paul is a dick. Nobody believes me.
With a man's beard. God, it's right in the jaw. That's got my wisdom teeth all in a crumple. Seriously. Look, if you're just looking for information, there's lots of people. I mean, you've got Lord Neverember for one. I mean, granted, he's going to make sure you give him something really, really worthwhile in exchange. He doesn't do nothing for nothing. Sure that some of the other factions might be interested, although they're a bit more chancy to work with.
And sorry, what was that guy's name?
What? Who?
The guy, the expensive dude.
Lord Neverember.
Because he couldn't get hot.
See on your screen the area that says area controlled by Lord Neverember.
Yes.
That's Lord Neverember's area. That's his area.
Whole bottom half of the lands.
Man, my picture is so in handy right now.
Probably some mages. You know, I mean, there's a lot of people. Maybe some priests. They might know.
And where would I find Neverember?
Lord Neverember, he's more around the center, kind of the center-south side. A fair number of the priests and temples are probably around there too.
Alafa, what do you think?
Down with any decision you choose to make.
I'm sure if you could find Fingers McGee, he'd be happy to help in exchange for, well, probably any number of things right now as a wanted man, seeing as how if you truly are not interested in killing him. Let's put it this way, a desperate man is willing to pay better prices. I think there's an old saying, man in the desert only wants for water.
And do you have any idea where Fingers is?
How about you give me a check?
How about I give you an Eldritch Blast to the face?
A persuasion check. Actually, first.
All right, let's do that. Skills. Persuasion.
Yeah, Alafa, you suspect he might know something.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him when Fingers sold out the city to the undead. While Megna's trying to figure out what words to use to be persuasive.
All right, thanks, Wall.
Yeah, Alafa's being awfully successful at being persuasive.
Palna?
In terms of... Yeah, Palna, sorry. In terms of when it went down, this would have been, say, 2 days ago. Pretty recent events.
So very recent. Cool.
Yeah, very recent. Palna, you address him, and he kind of looks around a bit. If
I did know, I couldn't say nothing here, you understand?
Yeah, that's fair. So, you want to step outside for a sec?
Yeah, right. He whistles over some.
He whistles over some little dwarf boy.
These voice changes.
Speaks to him in Dwarvish. If anybody understands Dwarvish, it's basically something along the lines of get your ass up here and don't give nobody nothing for free. Basically. He will lead you out back. And
Look.
You follow him out back? Olaf, are you going to?
Yeah, I'm not standing there.
Okay.
It smells bad.
Yeah, you'd probably get beat up. You'd probably kill a few people too, but you'd probably get beat up.
Look, you understand. It's a bit difficult for him. He's got to be very careful who he speaks to. He wouldn't know you from no one else.
Understandably.
What kind of assurances would you be able to give him? What kind of assurances would I be able to pass on? If I actually knew such a thing, I'm not saying I do.
I'm going to respond in Thieves' Cant, and essentially just convey the message that he has no reason to trust me any more than anyone else. He doesn't know who I am. All I have is my word as a thief to another thief. Thieves' honor, if you will.
I see your fancy hands waving about there. I get that. I know what you're saying. But being a thief means nothing. Not now. Not here. Being a former compatriot, well, that just means you're more likely to have the ability to put him up to something. To frame him. To set him up. I know for a fact he maintains his innocence. Not that anybody will listen. Me, I just happen to have known him a long time.
Well, I mean,
you'd have to give more than that, lad.
We may be able to help him in some way, but at this point, by the sounds of it, he doesn't have very many friends to count on right now.
I will personally make sure that his innocence is proven once he decides to help us in what we need.
And how would you do that?
Same way I do lots of things. By not killing him.
Well, that's vague. That is also not very descriptive or helpful.
Well, let me ask you this: what is it that? How exactly did he sell out the town?
Well, the word going around is that a lot of the undead. There's been a lot of zombie activity for the past few years, but they've gained a foothold over the past few months. not sure how long exactly. We lose track, in the middle of a bar, day in, day out, night in, night out. But apparently they gained some kind of ground, some sort of strategic place, foothold as it were, out in the center. They're now in greater danger of penetrating our defenses than they ever have been before. He helped make it happen. I don't know anything more. I'm slipping my accent again.
Well, we could.
As thieves do, right? Help sneak in, help sneak out, that sort of thing.
Right, of course. We could always work towards perhaps fabricating an alibi of sorts that would indicate his innocence. Assuming he is innocent. I mean, I haven't had a chance to speak with the gentleman yet, of course. I'm sure he'll have an opportunity to plead his case. But I wouldn't... some of the things that we're dealing with here...
It doesn't really matter. Lad, it doesn't really matter if he's innocent or not, if I'm understanding what you're talking about. Why would you care whether he's innocent or not?
I don't necessarily care. I just like to know who I'm working with.
I'll tell you what. I'll see what I can do. Come back tomorrow in the morning.
Well, I don't know.
See if I can work something out.
He's a dwarf.
But I would suggest that you probably want to go get a good night's rest. And you probably want to do that nowhere near here. Nowhere near where anyone heard you asking about him. Sorry, Scottish accent. About him.
Alright, that's fair enough. Thank you for the information, dwarf.
Right, well just don't go letting me down. Yep, pansy wankers.
Alright, so, Lop, I guess
he had to throw that in there, you understand.
Can I summon an illusion of his wife in front of him with a stern look on her face?
You don't know what his wife looks like.
I pull it from his mind.
That's what you think.
Fingers McGee.
I'll tell you what you... I'll tell you what you can do, Alafa. You can roll me a d4, please. All right, you gentlemen venture back inside to head out, seeing that the fight has recently just come to a close, and Alafa is now 10 gold richer.
Good call.
As is Oppo. My channel. Alright.
Who's 10 gold richer in your channel?
Opopanax. Opopanax. Apopanax. Nice. I don't know how I say his name. Pop. Okay, sorry. Muppets flashback. Alright,
Oppo.
What's going on? Oppo.
Alright, so, Alafa, I'm gonna whisper this to him, or we'll mention as we walk out of the place, that we should head back to where the others were, and make our way back to the inn, perhaps.
Yeah.
Okay. So you head back. Well, you probably just head back to the inn. I'm assuming you could all meet up there, right? I'm assuming that was probably the plan.
Yep, sounds good.
And you can all head back and exchange tales and exchange information and sum each other up.
All right. So, when Pryor hears of the undead, he goes into,
A fit
the
of
kind
light
of
rage.
yeah, Pryor, follower
glows
of a
slightly stronger.
banner, undead. Basically, if my companions are going to go to sleep, so be it. I am marching my ass to the libraries, to the arcane sanctums, to whatever freaking place I can do some research for the night. I am archives, whatever. I'm trying to. Cue montage of me trying to piece some of this shit together. Basically, I'm not sleeping tonight.
Piece what together exactly?
Okay, piece the timeline together. So we know 1 week ago, supposedly, we came back into existence. We know that within that 1 week, more shit has happened, as in Glass Creature came around. Priestess Peach tried to contain Glass Creature. We know Undead became a problem within the last, a serious problem within the last 2 or 3 days, so fits in within the week time frame. What else do we know? That's the main thing. I have the parchments for the Drow, which maybe I could find some references to some of the stuff he was talking about in some library readings. I'm gonna suggest to the group that in the morning we head. Do we know where the undead quote unquote stronghold is? Sorry, is that like an obvious thing?
It is not. It is not. For one thing, Neverwinter is huge. Like it's a huge. It was a huge city, right? Before it was blowed the fuck up. Now it's ruins and a large city built around the ruins of a large city. So it's a bit crazy now in terms of just sheer space.
But would we when he said he sold out the city to the undead? Something, and again, if it's not clear, it's not clear. Is it that there's a portion of the city that is now unsafe to venture and basically quarantined off because there are zombies and of the such roaming? Or is it more across the ridge this way to the northeast, the forests have become corrupt and there's nothing but blight and undeath? That's something I might be able to hear.
So yeah, you could ask around pretty easily and get some information. A lot of the ruins had been previously claimed as kind of an undead area, but there is no stronghold that was able to be identified per se. It was more of just kind of a general. You're not even sure where they're coming from, but they were never able to fully clear out this area. It was just too many undead forces. And there always seemed to be some sort of intelligence behind them of some sort, which is extremely kind of what the hell? It means somebody's probably directing them or given some sort of intelligence, which is this. But because the city is basically it's that donut shape, and they've taken some of that northern edge.
Okay.
There's basically now barricades set up along the docks. One of the thin points of the docks. Some of the docks were actually lost. The northern portions. But there is a thin part where the docks kind of. There's not much dock before there's water and wreckage and wall. And that's basically what they're holding. They're holding this section.
All right, quick question. This is gonna make some, elaborate connections, and I'm sorry I forgot the god's name, but the K god whatever.
Calibor.
His cleric was killing. Yeah, Calibor. Thank you. His cleric was going around releasing people.
Yeah.
Yada yada.
Yeah.
They're dead. We've seen plenty of small huts and stuff along the roads that were damaged and whatever, and there was no bodies found in the huts. And when we interrogated the guard on the first time I joined you guys, he did hint that the survivors were taken by the priests of Kalambor, and then they were released.
I do want to make one point real fast.
Yo, go for it.
The god of that priest was not Kalambor.
Okay.
He was either being persuaded by somebody who was impersonating him, or he truly followed a different god and just pretended like he was following him.
Understand. But anyways, so what Prior might be kind of sort of thinking, because Adam is kind of sort of thinking this, is maybe the undead army is the people that were released in a sense. And if the person that was releasing them isn't somewhat tied with the Black Spider, potentially the Black Spider is manipulating another pawn. These are meant to be a distraction. So maybe this is like a first wave of an attack or a first wave of something. And we do know that there's still the importance of the other thing, which is Thunder Tree. And this could be, in a sense, I don't want to say a connection because I have no reason to make a connection of it, but if it's something that it's like a preemptive attack, and we did know that it's important to find Thunder Tree, so I was going to say that's a potential that they're the undead risen to attack the city, and now I need to do some research on fucking Thunder Tree. And in the morning, I don't care if you guys join me or not, I'm marching my ass up there and I'm going to smite the living shit out of undead. I am pissed. There will be the wrath of Lathander upon them in the morning. So. Yeah, so Q, I'm also on top. I will look into whatever I can find from some temples and or libraries about Thunder Tree.
Okay. Give me no, never mind, I'll roll for you.
Guidance me if it's applicable, please.
Okay. Alright. Alright. Thanks for joining us. Alright, so you are able to find out that Thunder Tree... You're able to find out a little bit, not a lot. You're able to find out that Thunder Tree was a stronghold that had been set up somewhere in the forests outside of the city. Don't know where exactly. It was maintained by basically a couple, a husband and wife. He was a wizard and she was a druid. And they protected the forests until their untimely demise. And that is all that you could find.
Okay, I couldn't find the direction.
And this was a
This
was a very long time ago. No, unfortunately, what you found was legend. It was very, very long time ago. So.
All right. And I'll do one last thing. I'm just looking up one thing real quick. No, I don't have that spell. I guess as while I'm assuming the guys are sleeping and I'm doing my research montage, I will take a moment to break and I will ritually cast I'm sorry, Gargantius is constantly swinging Char. Even in his sleep he's like Char.
He sounds like a Charmander.
Yeah.
Char.
I am let me read. I should have read this spell before, but I can ritually cast Augury, and I want to see what its limitations are in this 5th edition. So the spell does not take into account possible circumstances. Okay, never mind. But now I'm not gonna do that because I won't get a good answer. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I'm gonna try to figure out a way to implement it because I was gonna like basically like augury. Should we? Actually, fine. I will ask Lathander. Should we engage the undead horde as one of my auguries, and then my second one, which I think I can do by the rule set. Yeah, the spell can be 2 or more. Okay, so if I do it 2 or more, it's a 25 chance. Okay, my second augury within the night would be like, I guess, is Thunder Tree worth it? Like, is finding Thunder Tree crucial to the situation or whatever that lays at hand?
Or whatever.
Basically, they either give me a whale, which is a good response, a woe, which is a bad response, a whale and a woe, which is both good or bad, or nothing, meaning that you ignore me.
What?
I mean, that's the way it works.
Very interesting way.
I mean, I don't get an answer. I just get.
Are you gonna give Prior a way or a woe?
Yeah, it's like, yay, go for
He's
it.
rolling through the sixes with his woes right now.
Whoa.
It's like Magic 8 Ball time.
That's basically what it is. It's Magic 8 Ball spell.
All right. You're conversing with the others.
Yeah. So whatever, you can even, if you want to just type.
What do you guys think?
What do you guys think?
Well, have the discussion. Have the discussion.
I'm.
Oh, I thought they were asleep, but okay, gotcha. My bad.
Well, but I'm assuming you can have the discussion, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, gotcha. Go, Jones.
Yeah, I'm waiting to speak to the dwarf contact. Either way, I figured Fingers McGee, if he was involved, he'll at least know where the stronghold is. So we'll have a location on that. And if he's not, at least we might get some pertinent information on Tree Dude.
Okay. What about you guys?
Yeah, gotcha.
What about the rest of you?
Well, I'm not opposed to smiting zombies in the morning, if that's what we're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Strife?
Yeah, I mean, I'll join him. I mean, yeah. I'm gonna follow Prior.
Cool.
I do want to check something though with Bolt's grave. Just verify if his corpse is still there.
You just want to see?
Yeah, I just want to see if it's still there or otherwise missing.
All right. Keep in mind that you've been gone.
Yeah, it's been
for
months.
Like six months. Yeah.
So we'd probably have to dig it up to verify. Or look for any damage that the crystalline being had ransacked the place.
Right. So yeah, you can well, I mean, you're kind of in good with the priests of Kellenvor right now anyway, because that guy disappeared and never came back, that priest.
Right.
So they're actually quite appreciative of you. That they will help you out. And yes, they can dig up the body and find that the tomb is empty. The stone has been rolled away, and Bolt has risen from the grave.
All right, who has track of dead? Is that a thing?
Not in this current.
No, the body is just gone. He did
Okay.
not actually like dig his way out or anything like that. It looked like, if anything, because they didn't do a coffin or anything like that. If anything, it looked like it formed a little bit of a sinkhole, like his body just
disappeared.
There was nothing.
Phased out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody take a note to tell Reed that he is now Dwarf G.
I was about to. Okay. I was thinking the same thing when you said that. Like, oh, Jesus. One He's got the beard to go with it too.
God damn it.
I don't think Jesus had a red beard.
Some would say Jesus was black, so let's continue.
Well, yeah.